over 18 to enter. Lines will close at 5:30 today. Details are on RTE Airtel, page 192, and the lucky winner will be announced later on The Daily Show, so stay tuned for that.
Now, we've come a long way since the legalisation of birth control that was back in 1979. Now, for all of the options that are on the market today, look no further than your pharmacist. We're joined today by Ann-Marie Horan. Hi, Ann-Marie.
Hi, how are you?
I can't believe that it's 89 and 2009, like 30-odd years since the whole kind of country changed, I suppose, massively for Ireland. The choice of birth control is so wide and varied now, isn't it?
Sure, yeah. Well, there is no best birth control. There's pros and cons to each of them. That's why there's so many different types
on the market. So it depends what you need to suit you.
Absolutely.
I suppose the ones that you can get without a prescription are condoms, and they not only protect against obviously getting pregnant, but also STIs.
Yes, well, condom is actually the only contraception there that will protect against STIs. So a lot of the time, actually, people will use condoms maybe and another protection just as a fail-safe, because sometimes condoms burst and things like that. Although if they're used properly, they're 98% effective.
Okay, that's what I was just going to ask. 98% effective if they're used properly. And, of course, there are various condoms on the market now as well. We should say that. Sensitive and all that different types of condoms.
Sure, but you need to be careful what creams you use with them, that if you're using some kind of rub or body cream, sometimes it'll make the condom burst. So you need to use a lubricant that's specifically designed to be used for condoms. To be used for condoms.
Okay, let's move on to the pill, and we'll take a look at combined pills first. What are they first?
Combined pills are a mixture of estrogen and progestogen, and you take them for one a day for 3 weeks, and then you have a 7-day period that you're not taking them, and then you normally get your bleed.
Okay. Now, are there people that they aren't suitable for?
Yes, I mean, they won't suit everybody. They won't suit maybe people that have high blood pressure, they won't suit smokers, women over 35, but most people they will suit.
Okay, so a doctor, if you went there, if you're over 35, if you did smoke, they'd advise you to maybe move on to the next pill we're going to talk about, and that is the mini pill, or is that the same there?
Yeah, no, the mini pill is a progesterone-only pill, and you need to take that once a day, every day. And the hard thing about that is that you've only got a 3-hour window to take it, or else it's considered that you've missed the pill. But the newest one of those is the Sterazette, and you've got 12 hours to take that.
Okay, that's the one I'm just pointing out there. So you got within the 12-hour period. Now, pills have always been controversial in the sense of maybe putting on a bit of weight, or they do have side effects. Now, not that a lot of women do suffer from these side effects, we should say.
No, I mean, yes, you do have side effects such as like weight gain, acne, bloating, nausea, depression. But in general, most women, I mean, these side effects only affect maybe 1 out of 10 women. Most of them won't get it. And a lot of women actually take the pill to stop heavy periods and to help PMS symptoms.
Okay, so a lot of doctors would prescribe that not necessarily to stop you getting pregnant, but also,
Absolutely.
as you said, if your hormones are a bit all over the place and you do suffer badly during your menstrual cycle. Okay, let's look at the newer contraceptives that are out there, and we'll take a look first at here. This is the patch. This is almost like a sticking plaster.
That's exactly what it is. You just put it on your arm like an adhesive plaster, and it stays there for there's 3 in the box, so you use 1 patch a week for 3 weeks, and then you have a week-free period, and it's really like taking the combined pill.
Okay, so it's got the progesterone. And
yeah, exactly. So the advantage of it is time. You only need to think about it once a week. Now, you have to make sure that it's still on and doesn't fall off, but other than that, you need to remember to reapply it once a week.
Okay. Just on that, I mean, would it come off in the shower, or if, say, you're...
It shouldn't really, but I mean, if it does, you've got a window of 24 hours, actually, to put it back on.
Okay, so even if you lose it, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the vaginal ring.
Okay, I'll just show you that here. Now, a woman can actually insert this herself. Okay. You can see it's kind of squidgy.
Okay.
So you really put it in like a tampon.
Okay, what's in that?
Estrogen and progestogen are in this. So it is the same as taking the combined pill. The big advantage of it is timing.
Okay.
You only need to put this in once a month. So you leave it in for 3 weeks and then take it out again. Now, you do have to check that it's still in there.
Okay, so you use it for 3 weeks. During the time it comes out, then you'll have a bleed.
Exactly.
All right. Okay, that's a vaginal ring. Now, are they costly?
I think they're around €20.
Okay, for that.
Yeah.
All right, moving on then to methods that would have to be used with in combination with the doctor. Say, for example, like the injection.
Sure. Well, the injection, it's a depo-medrone injection or a depo-provera injection, and you give it in, and it lasts for 12 weeks. And so you don't have to think about your contraception again for 12 weeks. The disadvantage to that is that it can sometimes have problems with bone density and things like that if it's used long term. And it's the only one of the contraceptives that have any kind of maybe question mark over how quickly your fertility returns after taking it.
Oh, really? Now, also with that, just reading that, it could cause maybe irregular bleeding sometimes. Is that true?
That's really true of all the progesterone-based contraceptions. It'll make your bleeding less, and sometimes it stops it, yeah. And you might get some breakthrough bleeding.
OK, that is 99% effective. Now, how much does that cost?
I think that costs around €20, about €15.
15 to 20 euro,
yeah.
OK. Now, the IUS.
OK, well, the IUS is an impressive-looking thing. Women get a shock when they come into the pharmacy and we bring it out in a box like that.
Does this go inside you?
This all goes inside you. Now,
My goodness.
It doesn't suit everybody. It doesn't suit maybe women with a very small uterine cavity, as you can see why. So it's inserted by a specially trained doctor, and it stays there for 5 years. Now, normally you go back in for a checkup maybe 6 or 8 weeks later, then maybe 6 months, and then yearly. The woman should be checking, though, herself that it's still in place. Do you see these 2 wires at the very end?
Do they stick out of you?
They stick out of you, and so literally you feel those. So that's how you know it's still in place, because if it's not in place properly or if it's expelled, then it's not working.
OK, that's €120. That's on the drugs payment scheme.
That's on the drugs payment scheme. So it's quite an expensive contraception. It will probably be around €200, but you can go into your pharmacy and you can register on the drugs payment scheme. If you just bring in your PPS number, they'll emergency register you, and you get it for €120. Okay. And it'll last for 5 years.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a scary method to me now.
It's actually very popular for women over 35, maybe, that don't really want to be taking the combined pill and don't want to be thinking about it.
OK, that's fair enough. Now, let's take a look at this. Is the implant next. Show us this little thing.
This is the implant, and this is given by a specially trained doctor. This is Implant NXT. Now, there was one before this called Implant, but it was actually discontinued because the amount of times that the injection wasn't actually properly inserted. OK. Now,
just quickly, there's morning after pills here, because these are now available, aren't they? You can leave that down there. The morning after pills are now available over the counter, and this has only happened in the last number of months here in Ireland. And they only cost, what, about a tenner, is it?
They're probably a bit dearer than that. They actually, in fact, the cost price of the drug now, the company put it up, would be over that. So I'd say they vary between 25 to €45 in a pharmacy. But the big thing about it is timing. You need to get it as soon as possible. OK, you take it within 24 hours, it's most effective. 24 hours, it's 95% effective. 48 hours, it goes to 85% effective. 72 hours, it's only 58% effective. So you can see why it's called the morning after pill. It is really important to get in there quickly. OK, so take it as soon as possible after unprotected sex. Thank you very much. Now, this little leaflet you can get from your pharmacy, I think it's called Your Guide to Contraception, and you can get this free from all your pharmacies, and it gives you a breakdown on all those methods we talked about there. Now, all the information, of course, that we talked about, it's all on our website, and you take a look at the Airtel page, and that's 340. Now, luckily today, Anne-Marie is staying with us. She's going to answer any questions that you might have a bit later on in the show. If it's on birth control, like we just spoke about there. Also, if you want to get in touch and ask Anne-Marie a question about treating an illness or an allergy, of course, we have a lot of allergies around at this time of the year. Here's how to do it. You can contact us on low call 1850 71 71 11 or text 4 followed by your comment to 53555. From Northern Ireland, text 4 followed by your comment to 87103 or email us at emails@4live.ie.